price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters. Welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I am your host, Afro Elite. Make sure you guys lock in by hitting that subscribe button, hitting that notification bell, hitting that thumbs up. Y'all got to be heavy in the comments because we got a lot of information coming for you guys tonight, okay? There's so much information, y'all. I literally had to reset my computer, shut everything down, and reset my entire computer because all of the information, and I still couldn't put everything up. So now I got to go through I had to figure out and maneuver a way before I went on live to get you guys all this information because it was just too much. StreamYard literally could not hold everything. I was putting up a bunch of clips and StreamYard was like glitching and shutting down because of all of the receipts I had, the information I had. Hold on, let me make sure everything is everything. Let me make sure everything is good. So I had to find another way to do that, but I did. So we still got everything. You guys are gonna get everything. It's been going down in Chicago. It's been going down in Chicago. I appreciate you all here. Thank you so very much. So we're going to get started straight off the bat. Now, if you guys have been following me for a long time, or not a long time, recently, to be very honest, you guys have seen this. This is a flyer by Bob Avakian. Bob Avakian has been putting these flyers up. These are very provocative, slanderous, anti-Black misinformation flyers to say that Black people have been hating on immigrants. Now, if you guys know, really Chicago, a lot of Black people everywhere. You have it in New York, you have it in Iowa, you have it in Colorado, you have it in Chicago, you have it in other different places. But really Chicago, let's be honest, let's be clear about this, has been the main voice for the Black community as far as advocating against all of this illegal immigration. It is not a joke. It's not a debate. It's not something up for question. It is flat out the truth. It's flat out the reality of the situation. There is no Black city besides Chicago, or more than, or even equal to what Chicago is doing as far as pushing against the illegal immigration. And much respect to everybody else who's doing it, but Chicago is really the spearheader of that movement, the spearheader of Black people standing up and defending against this illegal immigration. We've been on that for years, to be honest. We've been on that actually ever since they started really coming over here, and this was back with the previous administration with Lori Lightfoot. We've been on that. So you have this Bob Avakian who's out here spreading this misinformation, saying that, you know what, black people are out here hating on immigrants. That's what Black people are doing. Let me get to the super chats real quick because you all are addressing something. Alanda and Black it says no Alpha Male Pimp. It says rest in peace to our brother James Earl Jones. Rest in peace, definitely, most definitely, because huge voice of our childhood. Rest in peace to that brother. 93 years old, lived a full life. You know, that's what I'm happy to see, that he lived a full life. Thank you for that. So he's been doing that. And that is a hate crime. Let's be very clear. That is a hate crime. Why? Why is that a hate crime? He's not putting this in his neighborhood. He's not just putting this out here on YouTube as free speech, or on his website, his own website, which he has as free speech. He is literally going to places where Black people live and putting out false information that's not true, because we're not hating on anybody. Our government has a legal process. This country has a legal process. I said this. I was at City Hall earlier today. I said this. Our country has a legal process for people to come over here and immigrate over here. Our country also has a legal process for people to become asylum seekers to this country. You don't just get to barge in and say, well, I'm an asylum seeker. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. That's not how this country works. There are rules set in place. There are laws set in place. If you go around those laws, if you break the laws, you are committing a crime. What is the definition of a crime? A crime is something that is against the law. What is the law? The law are a set of rules established by the government of the people of that land. That is what a law is. When you break the law and you commit a crime, that makes you, someone who commits crimes, a criminal. So these make people, by definitions, not asylum seekers, criminals. That is what these people are, by definition. And we do us no favors whatsoever by trying to sugarcoat this, by trying to make this seem like this is not what it is. This is what it is. This is not the legal process for them to come over here. This is not. And we are doing us a bad service, especially to the black community, by acting as if this is not the case, or we're too afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. They are criminals. This is a crime. This is what they're doing. Okay. And we need to be more comfortable saying this. So, we got over 100 people. We're not even 10 minutes, over 100 people in here. We are going to be loaded this evening, my brothers and my sisters. Make sure y'all hit that button. So, you had the black community stand up. But before we do that, I want to actually play, because he had a thing. He actually has a thing where he's going out. This is Bob Avakian. Before we do this, let me give you some, like, a background thing on who he is. Who he is. Okay. I got to get my logo off so you can see the thing. Now, this is a Robert, and people call Robert Bob. That's a thing. Robert Bruce Avakian is an American political activist who is the founder and chairman of Revolutionary Communist Party USA, coming out of the New York left of the 1960s and influenced strongly by Maoism. That's some type of essentially governing system. That's what he wants, right? Avakian developed the RCP's ideology, which is the Revolutionary Communist Party's ideology framework, the new synthesis, or the new communism. Okay, that's that. So he's pretty much, he leads his own. I guess he's like a communist leader in America, a new communist leader, or he's trying to start a new communist revolution. Let him tell it. That's what he's trying to do. All right. Let him tell it. That's what he's trying to do. So, getting into more detail about it, it says the Revolutionary Communist Party USA, also known as RCP, the Revcons, these are what they call themselves, or Revcons, is a new communist party in the United States, founded in 1975 and led by its chairman, Bob Avakian. The party organizes for a revolution to overthrow the system of capitalism and replace it with a socialist state, with the final aim of world communism. The RCP is frequently described as a cult around Avakianism. Oh, not Avakian. Avakian. Okay, so that's what it is. Let's be honest, and I'm going to let you hear these people. I'm going to let you hear these people, and when you hear these people, you're going to be able to hear, okay, this does sound like a cult. And let's be honest, this is essentially what this is. This is a leftist, anti-black cult. This is a liberal cult of anti-blackness, okay? He's already gotten in trouble with the community before. He's already spread things against the community before. Let me show you this, because we got to pull up the receipts now. You guys know we have them too. So this came out some years ago, and the community, first off, this happened in 2013 or 14, and then it happened again. He posted this on his website recently. Let's take a look at this. This comes from his website, so this is all him himself. The Nation of Islam, and he almost had his place shut down because in Chicago, the Nation has a very strong presence in Chicago. Okay, so they don't really be playing these games, but he's doing these provocative movements and provocative messages, anti-black provocative messages to stir up chaos in the community. Says the Nation of Islam, not a force for, a force against emancipation. We need real revolution. He uses that word a lot. Okay, this came out in 2021. It says Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, NOI, of which he is the head, poses as an angry and powerful opponent of white supremacy. But the truth is that neither the doctrine of the Nation of Islam nor its actions represent the road to ending white supremacy and liberating black people or anyone else. Their doctrine and program actually contributes to maintaining white supremacy and other horrific oppression, including male supremacy and patriarchal oppression of women, all of which is built into the system of capitalism, imperialism that we are now forced to live under. Okay. I don't even have to read this whole thing. I just want you guys to get like a taste of this, because then he goes down trying to bring up the Malcolm X and his situation with the nation. So he's trying to do that to make it seem like, oh no, I'm not anti-black. You know, I love Malcolm X, and you know he said this, so I'm just really repeating what he said, and that's not what he said. Because Malcolm X wasn't out here talking about no damn male supremacy and all this stuff. That's not what Malcolm X was doing. So he's using Malcolm X as a way to do that. And that's going to take us all for that. So back to what I was saying, the community could not stand him. Okay. So what he does is he puts out these little flyers and these little messages because he got some money. He puts out these flyers and messages and things like that. And then he allows his foot soldiers to kind of just do the work and spread his message like some type of cult leader. That's what he is. He's a cult leader, an anti-black cult leader trying to, like he says, overthrow the government. This is what he's saying. This is what he is saying. He's trying to overthrow the government with a revolution for communism. Okay, he's a communist, white, liberal, supremacist cult leader. That's what he is. Okay. So let's actually look at his message. We're going to actually look at what his message is as far as what this says right here. He actually has some type of very small, insignificant YouTube channel that nobody watches, but he did say something on there. This is what he had to say.
Revolution.
Actually, hold on. Let me just before we even do that, because y'all already know. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, all right, here we go. This is Bob.
Bob Avakian, Revolution, number 73. Black people hating on immigrants. Nonsense and worse from people who should know better. One of the most maddening and heartbreaking things these days is to hear black people who have suffered so terribly under this system hating on immigrants, talking about how immigrants are supposedly taking jobs and resources that should go to black people and ruining neighborhoods where black people have lived for generations. When I hear this, I can't help thinking about what happened when the mass migration of black people from the South took place beginning after World War I, a century ago. Coming into the cities in the North, black people were repeatedly and viciously attacked by racist white mobs, claiming that black people were taking jobs from white people, that black people were ruining the cities and just refusing to stay in their place. Sound familiar? The same thing happened after World War II, in the 1950s and 1960s, when black people were moving into segregated all-white neighborhoods or going to previously all-white schools, and they were often viciously, violently attacked by racist white mobs. Even as, on the other hand, many white people were actively taking part in the fight against segregation, discrimination, and racist oppression overall.
Not many. And I want to pause it real quick, okay? Because I don't want to, because he says a lot. Okay, so we are going to dissect what he is saying. All of this is anti-black racism. And this is being disguised as, well, I'm really against the system of white supremacy, but you guys don't know what you're doing. So let me be in charge and let me tell you guys what to do. I don't want you guys to miss anything. That's why I'm being quiet right now.
And today, especially with the Trumpite MAGA fascists, we see open, aggressive racism against black people and against immigrants from what Trump has called shithole countries. And you know what that means. You know he doesn't mean Norway. So I have a question for any black people today who are caught up in this hating on immigrants. Do you really want to be like the rabid white racists? Or do you want to put an end to this madness that you and the immigrants are being put through? It is this system that has put black people through hell for centuries and is still putting black people through hell. And it is this system of capitalism, imperialism, that is putting masses of immigrants through hell, making life unlivable for tens of millions throughout the world, forcing them to leave their homes and homelands in a desperate search for a decent life, and then be exploited and discriminated against if they make it to the country most responsible for their miserable situation. This country, the imperialist USA. Instead of being played to hate on and fight against each other, all the people who are oppressed, exploited, misused, abused, tormented, and terrorized under this system, and all people who really care about justice, need to unite to rise up against and put an end to this system that is the cause of all this madness, injustice, and atrocity. We are living in a time when it is possible to carry out a revolution that can put an end to this system and bring into being a radically different and much better system where the fundamental needs and the highest aspirations of people for an emancipating, uplifting way to live can become a reality. All the outrage that people feel and all the hope and striving for a better way needs to be dedicated to and focused on working to bring about that emancipating revolution.
Okay. Sorry y'all had to go through that, but I had to be quiet so we can go through this whole thing. So we can make sure we get this done correctly. All right. Now, going back to first off, going just like this. This is the problem with a lot of the white liberals. Okay, Malcolm X was calling this out back in the day. These are the people who claim that they want to help, they want to be in a group of people, and they hate racism and they hate this. They come in and intrinsically, this is in their psyche, they have a thing of everywhere they go, and this is in the minds of the dominant society for the large part, 9 out of 10 times. Everywhere they go, intrinsically, like deep down, they believe white people should really be in charge. Whether it's to oppress and subjugate black people or to free black people. In their thing, they think that, well, I mean, white people should still be in charge. And this is in the minds of a lot of the white liberals. And a lot of the white liberals, they act like, oh, they're the friends of black people, but they look at black people in a very belittling and condescending and childlike manner. They don't look at black people like equal peers of human beings. They look at black people like, oh, they're not bad. They're just like children. And I am the adult, and I need to lead these children, and I need to supervise and be on top of these children. In their mind, and that's white supremacy. In their mind, they still believe that they are supreme. They still believe that they need to be assigned an authoritative position. And you can tell that in his very first line. His very first line.
Bob Avakian.
And it's not just him trying to catch somebody and get a good hook in. This is what he really believes. Listen.
Revolution number 73. Black people hating on immigrants. Nonsense and worse from people who should know better.
Nonsense and worse from people who should know better. What do you think gives this white man, this Caucasian dude, okay, the nerve to tell us like we're children? He's literally talking to the entire black community as if we are children. You should know better. That's something you would tell your child. Oh, why are you sitting up there running around the house with scissors? You should know better. For him to tell us in our position, oh, you should know better than this. See, this is the condescending racism, the subtle racism that comes out of the mouth of the white liberal. You should know better, as if you're somebody's parent, as if you're talking down to somebody, as if you're somebody's authority. Oh, and this is so disappointing from people who should know better. Actually, we do know better. That's why we're saying they shouldn't be over here. This is why months ago I made this list. This is the list of the 5 differences, and it made a lot of people mad. These are the 5 differences that separate the Great Migration from what they're having right now, which is illegal immigrant invasion. Okay, going through the 5 steps briefly. Okay, it's saying, number 1, slavery built the entire country, not just the South. We built the whole country. Okay, we didn't build one half and then there was another country that we immigrated to. The Great Migration was under the entire U.S. government. We are not immigrants because of the Great Migration. Okay, because he brings up the Great Migration. Oh, well, you guys, y'all technically left, so ain't that the same thing? No, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. We are not immigrants. It's still the same country. That's like saying you're an immigrant if you move from one house on the neighborhood to another house in the same neighborhood. Aren't you an immigrant? No, I'm still living in the same neighborhood, just a different house. I'm not an immigrant, okay? The purpose of the Great Migration was opportunities not to escape racism. There was racism all up in the North. The Great Migration was beneficial to the whole country. Nobody was coming and giving us aid, which is part number 5. There was no aid in the Great Migration, okay? This is why I did this, because I knew people like him we're going to be out here saying these things. He's out here saying these things, trying to compare, which is why I broke this down months ago, trying to compare the Great Migration to illegal immigrants who are committing a crime, breaking into a completely different country, and the government is subsidizing that. That is not what we did. Let's continue. We're not going to go through the whole thing because there's still so much to cover.
One of the most maddening and heartbreaking things these days is to hear black people who have suffered so terribly under this system hating on immigrants, talking about how immigrants are supposedly taking jobs and resources that should go to black people. And
then here's the thing. When people say that, oh, and they're talking about, they always use words like supposedly and allegedly and, rumor has it. They always use words as if that is not a certain fact. Just notice that anytime they say, well, allegedly they're taking jobs or supposedly they're taking jobs. No, it's not. Nothing is alleged or supposed. We're not even arguing that they're taking jobs. They're not working. They're just coming over here getting resources. This is not no alleged thing. This is not something that we're alleging and we're seeing them. Oh, how did you get those shoes? You guys must be getting money. We're just making something up. No, the government is literally having meetings telling you, okay, well, this is going to be the budget that we're going to use specifically for them. As a matter of fact, that's not enough. So we're going to ask the federal government to give us some money so we can have more for them. That's what they've been saying. They've been telling us this for the last couple years. Collectively, billions of dollars nationwide in each city altogether. It's probably $1 billion in Chicago, but at this time, pretty much. And in New York, I'm sure they're at $1 billion deficit in these cities, both these cities. And then we're not even talking about places like Colorado, all these other places where they're flooding to. They're just giving, resources, houses, all this stuff. Let me pull up this clip. That made me think of this other clip. I want to pull up. Do you know? I mean, when I say they're just being given houses, we're not sitting up there just saying they're being given houses because of a rumor. This is not what's that one rumor dude name? This is not Alex, not Alex Cross or something like. It's Alex something. This is not him. We're not just sitting up there and just making something up and giving no rumor around. We're not doing that. Look at this. This is on the news. This is what the news is reporting, ladies and gentlemen, as they're trying to make it seem like we're making something up. Hold on. Let me go back. And I normally like to have all my clips loaded up, but my computer was not allowing me to do that tonight. So this is what we have to do. We have to improvise. You ready?
It was a homecoming they had only dreamed of until today.
Alex Jones. Thank you. Alex Jones. Today. I was about to say Alex Cross, and that's Tyler Perry. I know that. Or he made a movie about Alex Cross. Alex Jones. Thank you.
The Gomez family officially welcomed friends to their new home in North Austin. Gabriel Gomez tells us it's his dream. This is what he wanted for his children. It is the first home for this family of four, and it is the first time they have lived in anything bigger than one bedroom for 8 years.
But okay. So this is what the government is sitting up there giving. This is what the government is giving them. And they send up there, the news is making this some type of celebration. Notice the news, these people are being handed things. Now, let me ask you guys, where are all of the angry white people who are complaining about welfare? Where are all of the angry white people who always complain about welfare and welfare queens and you got to get off welfare and government assistance? Where are they? Because when black people get anything, it's always, oh, that's DEI, that's woke. You guys got a handout. Everything we earn is a handout that we don't deserve. No matter what we do, these people are coming over here. They barely speak the language. They barely speak English. Look at his uniform. He's not no doctor. He's not a lawyer. This man isn't a successful CEO of $1 billion company. He's not. This dude, he's dressed like he works at a oil changing spot for vehicles. He looks like he changes people's motor oil and air filters. On his day's work, I guess. A lot of them do that. Or he might look like a janitor. That looks like a janitor's uniform. He looks like he mops up in high schools. That's what he looks like. And he has a house. A 4-bedroom house in Chicago. This ain't no little town or something like that where nobody lives for the next 10 miles or something like that. Has a house in Chicago. Wasn't able to afford. He's like, we've never been able to live in anything bigger than a 1-bedroom house because he doesn't have a skill. He does not have a skill. That's why. What she do? She don't got nothing either. These people don't have skills. They don't have degrees. Now they tell us we need to stay in school, go to college, get a good job, get a good career, stay out of trouble, save our money, invest, and then hopefully, maybe someday, possibly, we can get a house. They don't have to do anything, including learn the English language. And they're being given a house. So when you have people like Bob Avakian telling you, well, I mean, they're allegedly or supposedly taking all of these resources, and the news is celebrating them having their own house. They just got a house. While you got people sitting up there trying to gaslight you. You late on rent. Your landlord is knocking on your door. Hello? Hello? You are 2 days late. Come on now. This eviction notice is right in my hand. Listen to this, y'all. Take him back a little bit.
Gabriel Gomez tells us it's his dream. This is what he wanted for his children. It is the first home for this family of 4, and it is the first time they have lived in anything bigger than 1 bedroom for 8 years.
¿Cuál es la reacción? Nosotros estamos muy felices.
Eyuvele Surengel says they are very happy, and this is an important step for their family. Originally from Venezuela, they worked and worked in food service as an auto mechanic, delivering food, factory work.
I didn't even know he was out. See what I tell you? He looked like he changed oil. What I tell you? I could tell.
When they first arrived in Chicago in 2022 as new arrivals, they landed at Grace and Peace Church. This home is the first of 4 distressed West Side homes the church bought, rehabbed, and sold.
We met them at
the first of 4. The first of 4. They've been here since 2022. That's 2 years. They haven't been here for a whole 2 years, and they have a house, a 4-bedroom house, 4-bedroom house that the church is getting to buy for them. And there's a whole lot of legal things going on right there. So now we got to look at, damn, okay, what churches is doing that? Because there's been homeless people for decades. Y'all ain't buying them houses. There's been people trying to make ends meet for decades, gentrification for decades. Y'all ain't buying nobody else houses. Y'all not buying actual citizens' houses. Y'all not buying hardworking people houses. Y'all sitting up there letting these illegals come in this country, and y'all be all like, do you want a nice house or something like that? I mean, we can get you one.
the bus, and they were so distressed, and worked through a whole process with them. And now they're stabilizing their own home. It's awesome.
With all of their savings, programs to assist first-time home.
What savings? You got here 2 years ago. You literally got here 2 years ago. He works as a handyman at an auto shop. Come on now. Come on now. This man, come on. You know, it's not like you own an auto shop. You just work there. And she works at food services, which means she is either a waitress, which she might not be because she can't really speak English unless she works at a Hispanic restaurant. She is either a waitress or she's some type of chef, or she cleans up. She's in the back washing dishes. That's it. Those are the only things she could be doing. And she's probably not no damn chef either. Let's be honest. She either in the back cleaning up, washing dishes, or she's a waitress, which I doubt because she can't speak English. So you got a dishwasher and somebody rotating your tires talking about savings when they got to a brand new country 2 years ago. They got here 2 years ago and they were all like, oh yeah, we spent all of our savings. Well, I mean, not really. They just said 30 seconds ago that the church bought the house. So this ain't no hard, all of the hard work that they put into this house. They just said the church bought 4 houses. Sitting up there lying.
Buyers and an individual taxpayer identification number, the Gomez family made their dreams come true.
Que realmente ahorita estamos viendo nuestro sueño americano.
Rencaz says, really now is the American dream.
No. I mean, that's why you fled here. That's why they fled here, of course. The American dream that we were never able to live. We have never, ever, ever been able to live this. Not here or anywhere else. We can go anywhere else and live this. So then that brings us back to
ruining
Bob,
neighborhoods where
he's talking about allegedly. So you when we see this on the news, and this is not the first time, we've seen things like this on the news several times. And then he's all like, well, they're saying allegedly stealing our resources. There's a nice black family who's worked hard and can't get a nice house like that. That's a nice house. It's a nice house. 4 bedrooms, probably got a garage and everything, basement maybe. Depending on the neighborhood. It's a nice house. Okay. And the church bought it for them. Even if they're paying the church back, it's not like the church is doing some type of crazy high interest rate the way we've been affected by. It's not like the church is doing that. It's not like the church is charging them sky high mortgage. It's not like that. Not like they could afford it anyway. It's not like that. While you're talking about allegedly taking our resources, we're seeing them in new stuff. And they be all like, oh, you guys are hating. Y'all hating. We hating. Our government is neglecting us. Okay? Neglecting the resources in our community, neglecting the jobs in our community, neglecting to subsidize our community, the same community with the same people who are paying taxes to the government for representation that the government is illegally refusing to give to us. And when we say, hey, you guys are refusing to give us any type of adequate representation, adequate resources, any type of reparations whatsoever, and then you get people over here who don't speak English and they get houses. You know, you sound like a hater to me. I don't know about that. You sound like you're hating. That's what you sound like. That's gaslighting to the 10th degree. That is gaslighting. Sound like you a little jealous. It's kind of sound like that to me. That's what they're doing.
people have lived for generations. When I hear this, I can't help thinking about what happened when the mass migration of black people from the South took place beginning after World War I, a century ago. Coming into the cities in the North, black people were repeatedly and viciously attacked by racist white mobs, claiming that black people were taking jobs from white people. That black people
and we're not attacking anybody. You bringing that up, and we're not attacking anybody or causing any harm. We're not threatening people. As a matter of fact, they're threatening us. Look at what's going on in Colorado. These are gangs breaking into apartment complexes and running the whole thing, setting fires in buildings. This happened earlier today. Someone sent me this, a resident in Chicago has sent me this. I don't want to say the name, but sent me this. This happened close to where they were living. They just in buildings setting off fires. That's the whole fire, and there's more pictures and stuff, but that's the fire department running in. They don't know. I don't know what they was doing inside. Maybe they were cooking drugs or whatever the case is, or maybe they was trying to take out one of their rival gangs. I don't know what they was doing, but this is what's going on, and we're not harming anybody. And they talking about, well, there was the KKK. No, that's not what we're doing.
We're ruining the cities and just refusing to stay in their place. Sound familiar? The same thing happened after World War II, in the 1950s and 1960s, when black people were moving into...
And you know something I hate? And this is something white liberals do, and I think we got the point with that. Honestly, it's time for us to move on. You know something that really grinds my gears that I hate is when a white person sits up here and tries to tell us our history as if we don't know it better than anybody else, as if we didn't live that, as if our people have not lived through this. It was like, yeah, and when black people got here in the 50s and the 60s, they were segregated. They had to drink out of colored water fountains, and you all had to drink out of, and we had to drink out of white water fountains. Dude, if you were around during that time, you got to drink out the white water fountain. So don't you come up in here and try to tell me, oh, this happened to you guys, and this happened to you guys, and this happened to you guys, so you guys should be acting this way. This is that racist mindset where they can tell us, they think that they have the authority to tell us how we should or shouldn't be acting, as if we're their children. Because all of them, whether they're right or left, whether they're liberal or conservative, all of them really do feel like we belong to them. That's what they honestly, they won't tell you that. They won't say it. But deep down inside, they all really feel like, you know what? I mean, these are kind of like my children, really. And it's my responsibility to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They don't view, the liberals don't view us as if we're all human beings. Despite what they say, don't listen to their lies. Despite what they tell you, they don't do that. They always have this thing of, well, we are still kind of above you. You know, I like you. We have to get this thing out of our head where we think that dislike equals racism. That's not the same thing at all. There's so many white people who like black people. There's so many white people who love black people, and they're racist as hell to their core, to their soul. They are racist, bigoted as hell, and they love black people. They love them. They love, I said them, us. They love us. They love how we look. They love how our style. They love how we talk. They love our culture. They love our music. They love our food. They love hanging around us. They love us, but they are still racist. And this is what the white liberal does. Racism isn't about liking or disliking. That's what they've tried to manipulate us into believing, that it's about liking or disliking. Well, you see them over there with the Klan, man, they don't like you. I like you, so I can't be racist because I like you. I mean, I consider you a friend. So how can I be racist if I'm sitting down having a beer with you? I mean, come on now. Come on. Come on, buddy. No, it's not about that. They have this mind of superiority. I'm white, so I mean, I am better than you, but I still like you. That is racism. It is a system that they believe should still be in place, where one race is in a superior position over another race, where there is a racial hierarchy. That in a racial hierarchy, there does not have to be dislike for the bottom class. That does not affect anything. So we have to be very honest with that reality. So this man is over here with his foot soldiers out here who are tethers confirmed. These are tethers. Listen to what they have to say, because there's a lot of noise that was being made. Actually, because I don't want to tell you it out of order, because I have all the clips, because StreamYard was having a thing, so I don't want to tell you. So you have, and let me share this. Shout out to Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson was at City Hall. This was last week, and Miss Jackson was out there standing on business, saying that this is a hate crime. This is a hate crime, which it is, and we're gonna get into that. But let's listen to what she had to say first. Hold on, I gotta take it out. Okay, hold on.
You don't hang no signs about black people hating on immigrants, because black people ain't got no reason to hate on no immigrants.
Oh no, but the immigrants got
We
no reason to
everything
hate on
y'all
us.
are in there, son. Let me tell you something. You get them signs down. Anytime that ordinary Lawson and Silverstein and what's that other?
Cesar
Can sit up
Lopez.
here and talk
Lopez.
about how they should get a hate crime bill because swastikas was in Ziploc bags in that community. They hung this in our community. We want it off the polls. We want that to be the beginning of a hate crime. And that organization, which is a white liberal organization, like in the words of Malcolm X, who told us what? That the white liberal is the worst enemy to the black man.
Yes.
And
To the
it
black
is
American.
coming up in here, acting like y'all representing some social justice.
Say that,
But all
sister.
along,
Say
all
that.
you're doing is trying to use black people
Say
to
that.
find a reason to make some money.
Say
Let
that.
me tell y'all something over there. We're done. The Democratic Party is done. You ain't gonna mess with us like
Y'all
this
gonna
no
abuse us.
more. I'm telling you what I'm
They
telling
get to
you.
abuse the black
Trump
American.
gonna come in here and gonna clean it up. I'm telling you, the ones that have a righteous heart, you leave the Democratic Party. Do just like
Please.
RFK Jr., just do like that Tulsa lady. You better get up out the Democratic Party. Save yourself, save your families, save your dignity, save your jobs, and save your seat. Because if y'all don't, we coming for your seats. We ain't taking this no more. We ain't taking no disrespect from a bunch of people who have broke into the country and now have completely broke the city, have completely broke the country, have completely disgraced the United States of America. America is a disgrace. And for us, oh my God, what is the solution? You give us a fake, black, cackling hand of a candidate with a vice president that's talking about he want to put tampons in the boys' bathroom. Anybody do this? The number one function of a president is to be the commander-in-chief. You tell me anything about a Kamala Harris that look like she can protect this country after y'all have sat up here and let it get her overridden with a bunch of immigrants. Y'all have sat up here and put America's hands in all kind of wars. And you telling me a tampon man that ran from duty don't even know what his rule was. Kamala Harris, who don't know what race she is, gonna protect this country? The devil is a lie. Y'all better get some signs down. Yeah, I know that.
Hey, shout out to Miss Jackson. Shout out to Miss Jackson. Shout out to Miss Jackson. Can we get some fireball emojis in the fire emoji in the chat room for Miss Jackson? Because that was straight fire. Everything she said, 100% on point. Shout out to Miss Jackson for that. 100% on point. And what she said about Kamala, whatever her name is now, what she said about her was 1,000% correct. If she gets in office, you can it's gonna be, man, it's gonna be so many problems. We're gonna go straight into war. They already got a whole bunch of sleeper agents already in this country. Yeah, let's think about this. Just non-biased, realistically, like warriors actually would. Let's really think about this. You have people who are coming in here by the tens of thousands, even by the millions of people. There is no way you can process that. I went to the police station and I asked them myself, and they said they're not being processed. So that means I can come in here. My government can send me up in here. They say, hey, you just go in there. You cross the border. They ain't not going to be able to check. Once you in there, then we're going to give you some instructions. They won't know if I just grew up in some little village or I've been trained by their military to infiltrate this country. They wouldn't know until it's too late. Because they don't know who I am. These people don't know who I am. This is what the Democrats are allowing to come in here, laying right next door to you as their churches are buying them houses. As their churches are buying them houses. And we are going to face the brunt of all of this. The brunt of all of this. All of this. So this is what she's saying, and this is what the big noise was about, okay? And why are we saying that this is a hate crime? Because let's be honest. Let's be very, very honest. When it comes to other groups of people, we were just talking about this a couple of days ago. The Asian American community. Remember when the Stop Asian Hate thing was going on? And we all understood that the virus came from China. That was a well-known fact. That was not no rumor. That was no conspiracy theory. It was a well-known fact that they were the first people to have it, that they brought it to that was a well-known fact that the Fauci and all of them were backing up. And they were telling us, oh, well, you know what? It doesn't matter if it was true or not true. If it harms them, you can't say it. We couldn't go and do what Bob Avakian is doing and put up flyers talking about the virus came from China. It was the Wu-Tang virus or the Kung Fu virus. We couldn't do that. We couldn't even say something that was true. We couldn't even do that. It don't matter how true it is or not. If it hurts them, we can't say that. We couldn't do that. Look at this. Do you guys remember this? We discussed this the other day. We couldn't do that so much. They were arresting black folk for saying negative things about them. Remember this? New Yorker who berated, quote unquote, Matt nail salon staff for, quote, bringing coronavirus to this country, then yelled anti-Asian racial slurs at an undercover cop, is arrested for hate crimes. She berated, so she went to the nail salon and berated him. No, that's probably not what happened. More than likely, the Asian lady, she went there to get some service done. The Asian lady, she was being disrespectful. So the black woman, she was clapping back at her. And oh, that's anti-Asian. Oh, you can't be anti-Asian. It don't matter how true it is. Oh, truth be damned. It don't matter. You can't say that. You can't say that someone who was born a male can't be a girl. Because that they would say that is hate. They would say that it doesn't matter if you were born a boy, you can still be a girl. And if you say, well, that doesn't make any sense, well, that sounds like you're being hateful. So with every other group, regardless of the truth, they will say, well, if it offends them, if it bothers them in the slightest, we don't even need to talk about that other community. You already know who I'm talking about. Kyrie Irving shared a link to a movie from Amazon on his Twitter page, and they were saying, damn, this dude needs to get out the NBA. That's what they were talking about. So anything any other group of people just don't like, is unpleasant to them, doesn't push their narrative, doesn't agree with them, they will say that's hate. But you can get out here in the black community and you can spread straight up lies. These are lies. Inflammatory lies, slander, provocative slander. And then you get on a YouTube broadcast and then you say, well, it sounds like y'all being the same races that used to hang y'all, really. What's the difference between you and them? If you don't like them coming over here, what's the difference between you and a KKK? And the government is allowing that. The government's sitting up there allowing that. So yes, it is a hate crime. Yes, it is. You don't get to come in our community and start spreading this anti-black propaganda, because you know what happens? They start to spread this propaganda. Then it starts to circulate in society that, well, you know, black people, they're just kind of really jealous. Really, they're just really jealous of all of the immigrants. They're just really jealous because immigrants are just so hardworking and black people are lazy. And that's why they have things and you don't have things. So now, when you start to set this off, and this is the way Jim Crow started with propaganda. All of this stuff is very dangerous. Jim Crow started with propaganda. It was disguised as jokes. And then it became a thing in the psyche of the society. Like, these are jokes, but this is kind of really true, to be honest. And then it started more anti-black propaganda and anti-black propaganda. And then they said, you know what? We should do something about this. That's how Jim Crow started. And this is how this is going to start. With anti-black propaganda. So let me tell you what's going to happen. If we allowed this to happen, what would happen is that your kids who are going to go to school, because eventually they're going to start forcing their kids to go to the same schools that your kids are going to go to. So your children are going to go to the same schools with their children. And if their children try to pick on your children, if their children try to rob your children, take his money, take his phone, whatever the case is, and your child fights back against that, they're going to say, because the narrative's already out, that we're hateful to these oppressed group of people, that, oh, wait, actually, it was a hate crime on the black kid. No, it was the black kid who attacked that little Hispanic kid over there. It was Jamal who attacked little Javier over there. That's really what happened. And society is gonna, the media is gonna back that up. That's what's gonna happen. Any self-defense or anything like that, that's exactly what's gonna happen. That's how Jim Crow was. A white person, Malcolm X was talking about that. White people get to attack black people, and then the media will say it was the black person who attacked the white person. Malcolm X literally said that. Let me mute my phone for a second. I always forget that. That's what's going to happen. What's going to happen after that is going to be some little perverted little Venezuelan is going to try to talk to your daughter, whether she's of legal age or not. And if somebody comes to defend your daughter, a brother or sister comes to defend your daughter, it could be you, comes to defend your daughter or your niece or your sister or just any other little black girl around, or black boy for that matter, because you know how they get down in their countries. We don't even need to go there. It's a hate crime on you. I will tell you, this is very dangerous propaganda, because this was the very same tempo of anti-black propaganda that led to this. Remember when the Stop Asian Hate thing was going on, remember they were saying it was black people who was doing it. Do you guys remember that? They were saying it was the black people who were attacking the Asians. And then when they got their hate crime, do you know the main people they were locking up was the black folk? That's the main people they were locking up. So let me tell you what's going to happen with this. It's the same thing. It's going to be the same thing. if they're saying, well, black people hating on immigrants, so then it's going to be like, well, immigrants are coming over here. Immigrants really need their own unique hate crime. That's really what they need. And who do you think are the main ones going to be locked up after they get their hate crime? After they get their hate crime bill, who do you think the main ones are going to be locked up? It's going to be black people. They're going to be untouchable, only the black people. Because anybody else, they would be able to make arguments, defend themselves, all that stuff. Only the black people, as if they're not able to just run through, rob old ladies, run over kids with cars, as if they're not already allowed to do that right now. They will be running rampant in the community. And we will not legally, I'm not going to say we not, but we not legally going to be able to do anything about it. The way they're setting this up. So this is why we got to really make sure we get ahead of this. We have to really make sure we get ahead of this. I want you guys to listen to what he has his little foot soldiers out here saying, the propaganda that they're spreading.
For the emancipation of humanity in Chicago, taking out Bob Avakian's social media dispatch number 73 called Black People Hating on Immigrants, Nonsense and Worse from People Who Should Know Better. And this social media dispatch from Bob Avakian and the work that the RevComs there are doing around it has kicked up quite a controversy in the south side of Chicago. Word is getting out. There's people who are digging it. There's people who are offended by it. And it's a good controversy, one that we want. And we are so excited to have three.
It's a good controversy, one that we want. No, it's antagonistic. Okay? And it's stirring up chaos, which is what she's really just admitted to.
People who are in the midst of taking this out here on the RNL, the Revolution Nothing Less show today, to talk about their experience there, what they're learning, what they're transforming. Amina, Roosevelt, and Leo, welcome to the Revolution Nothing Less show.
Thank you.
Tethers, and then you got one of them who is a kinfolk. Let's be honest.
All right, so Amina, I want to start with you and just hear from you in terms of how do you see the importance of what Bob Avakian is putting before people with this challenge, and the importance of taking it out across this country, but also in a place like the south side of Chicago with such a concentration of Black people who really are, in many ways, catching a lot of the brunt of the oppression of this system.
Yeah, I mean, this has been extremely, extremely important. I think, if you step back a minute, right, and I do actually feel like there's so much content in the dispatch itself that is worth for everybody to go back to. But it does actually situate this, of like, we're living in a time when it is possible to carry out a revolution that can put an end to this system and bring into being a radically different and much better system where the fundamental needs and the highest aspirations for an emancipating, uplifting way to live can become a reality. And that's true. That's real, but there's a huge problem. There's a huge problem when you have Black people, exactly how the title puts it, Black people hating on immigrants. And really, like, this cannot, be the case where you have a whole section of people who, as again, the title goes on to, that who should know better, who should know better. And this dispatch actually does walk people through a bit of a history of what it has meant to be Black in this country, who should know. And that is where the who should know better, the brunt of what America has done to Black people, to go up against a whole section of people who really, this country has been the principal, source of responsibility for, making it impossible for people to live in their own homelands. And so here you have two sections of people that are literally at the bottom of society that are that then are whipped up to go up against each other. And there is a real sharp need, and in this dispatch in particular makes a real sharp need as to what kind of people are we going to be? Are we going to be about getting the most crumbs that we're able to get from from this system? Or are we going to be emancipators of humanity and fight for a world where this doesn't have to be the case? And again, we're never again will people be pitted up against each other in a way that's harmful and destructive, and to go up against at a time when it is actually more possible, when a revolution is more possible, to go up against, this whole system and, replace that with a fundamentally different system, and everything that, Bob Avakian work has been about, and everything that's possible here of the unnecessariness of this imperialist system. That's what this dispatch is really, really I think all of us have gotten a much deeper appreciation of just the power of what is concentrated in a very 4-minute audio message that that is having waves of impact that I think we're both beginning to learn from, and that needs to get further amplified.
You know, I want.
Oh, now I let her go her whole thing. Let her go her whole thing, right? First off, that's the whole, oh, we should know better. You should know better. Well, why don't you tell your people they should know to stay in their own damn country? How about that? How about that? They should know better than to flee. And I said this before, and I'm going to say this again. I am so very sick and tired of immigrants making pathetic excuses for their lazy asses not having anything in their own country and fleeing to this country. The country that caused the problem, allegedly, they're fleeing to the country that caused them the problem for refuge. And then acting like we owe them something. Oh, it's really America. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's your government. Your government is corrupt. Your people are corrupt. Your people have no loyalty to their nation. Your people have no loyalty to the fellow man and woman in your nation, which is why you're leaving, which is why you're running away, because you don't have any loyalty to them. You don't have any commitment to them. You are self-centered, selfish people. That's what you guys are culturally. That's what you all are. That's why you guys left. That's why you guys are fleers. That's why you guys are running away. You guys are representing your culture by running away from your problems. That's what you guys are doing. This is why your country is like that. Fleers, all of the come on. All of the people who are coming over here, well, America's the reason my country, it's America. No, it's you. It's you. You are the reason why your country is like that, because you ran away and you represent your people. Your people can't get anything done because they run away from their problems like you did. And they have no intention of ever going back, ever, and fixing anything, ever. They will come over here. They will take advantage of innocent, hardworking people, for real. They will take advantage. They will freeload and then tell you that you're lazy and you're hating on them. That's what they'll do. The reason why Venezuela is like that is because all of them suckers over there, and I'm trying to be PG with the language, but all of these suckers over here, fleeing over here, these losers over here, these failures over here. That's why these criminals, these are criminals. These are people who are committing crimes. There is a legal system of immigrating to this country. If you skip past the legal system of immigrating to this country, it is breaking the law. If you break the law, that is a crime. If you commit a crime, you are a criminal. They are criminals. We supposed to have sympathy. We supposed to team up, have this revolution with these law-abiding criminals. Let me ask you another question. Let's say something else, right? Let's go there, right? Why is it only black people? We should know better. We should know better. We got to team up with them. Do you see? Because we know. We hear, we know. Do you see how they treat the black people from where they're from? Do you see how they treat the dark-skinned people from where they're from? You see that, right? And they're supposed to come over here and we're supposed to team up against white supremacy when they hate blackness. That's what we're supposed to ignore their racism and team up with them to overthrow this system. A revolution. We're supposed to have a you know how brainwashed and stupid this sounds? We're supposed to have a revolution against our government from people who fled their government. From people who said, this is too hard, I gotta run away. They ran away from their government because they could not have a revolution of their own, and they could not revolt against their government or work to make their government better. They come over here, and that's when they want to have the backbone for a revolution. This is our backup. This is our backup. A bunch of cowards, a bunch of criminals, a bunch of opportunities. This is our backup. So people who ran from the possibility of a revolution is supposed to be our backup to a revolution, is what you're trying to tell me. This is, I mean, we doomed at this point. Then we might as well not have no damn revolution. You telling me the fleers are going to be our backup for a revolution? Okay, I'm sure. I'm sure. At best they flee. At worst they stab us in the back. At best they flee. At worst they stab us in the back. Please. So now listen to what they have to say. And then here comes the tether speaking.
I want to play just a very sharp juxtaposition of questions that Bob Avakian poses in this dispatch.
So I have a question for any black people today who are caught up in this hating on immigrants. Do you really want to be like the rabid white racists? Or do you want to put an end to this madness that you and the immigrants are being put through? It is this system that has put black people through hell for centuries and is still putting black people through hell.
Leo, this is a very sharp challenge. You guys,
and they took a little soundbite, which is why I played you guys the whole clip. I played y'all the whole clip. So we're not going to take little sound bites and take your stuff out of context. No.
have been taking it out. I know it's been controversial. Can you give a sense of the response out in the neighborhoods and other people who are hearing it?
Oh boy, has it been controversial. I mean, we've been out just around the organizing center here in South Shore, and right off the bat, we're met with people who just one vehemently disagree. You know, black people aren't hating on immigrants. And then there's all this black people saying the worst kinds of things, you know, sounding like the KKK, Southern segregationists, and these rabid white racists, you know. And I mean, just some of the, you know, they don't belong here. They should go back to where they came from. You know, why this neighborhood, you know, and then there's the why not us, you know, why them, you know, why are you giving them these resources in it, you know, this bullshit of, you know, people being divided.
No, that's not bullshit. No, that's a legitimate question. In a country that is alleging it is too broke. Remember, they're saying that this country is alleging it is too broke, too divisive to pay reparations. It's too unfeasible to pay us reparations. Remember, that was their excuse. Oh, I mean, I don't know where we would get the money from. Where are all of the white supremacists who claim that they're so mad about their taxes going up? Where are they? Because anytime we talk about reparations, it's always, oh, dude, I wasn't even alive during that time. My taxes shouldn't go up because of some slaves. I didn't even own any slaves, man. My taxes shouldn't go. You're going to make my taxes go sky high with these reparations, dude. That's what they tell us. Yet these illegals sitting up there getting houses, all of this stuff. And the same people who get mad at us, the same people who get outraged, like, dude, my taxes are paid for everything. These people aren't there around. These people don't show up. These people are not here at all, period. Nowhere to be found. You don't really find much alt-right opposition to this, not nearly to the degree that you have for reparations. Why are you saying, oh, well, they're saying, well, why is the government giving some to them and not us? Because we are citizens of this country. Because we pay taxes to this country. Because we have to go to work and they take money out of our check. When you work an hour, they say, hey, let me see that real quick. That's for me. They do it automatically. You don't get to choose. You don't get to choose. You don't get to be like, hey, I want my check and I don't want any taxes out of my check. None whatsoever. If you have an independent business or something like that and you make your money off on the side, at the end of the year, they're going to come knocking on the door like, hey, we need our money now. Yeah, come on, dude. Don't think you was getting away with nothing. Come on, we need our money. Because if you don't give us our money, you're gonna go to jail. You still gonna owe us. We ain't forgiving nothing, and you're going to go to jail if you don't give us our money. So we are at the threat of being arrested if we don't pay taxes. They're going to take it automatically. And if they can't take it automatically, if we don't pay them what they tell us we owe them, we will go to jail as citizens of the United States. So yes, as citizens, legal citizens of the United States, we have a right to say, well, if we are paying you our money, this is what y'all supposed to be doing. Y'all need to be doing that. Talking about, well, why are you mad? They're giving it to them, not us. Yes, because we're citizens and they're not citizens. These are illegal criminals coming over here. It should not go to them, period. Even if we had it, it shouldn't go to them. They don't get to leapfrog and skip the process. It shouldn't go to them regardless, period. But it's going to them, and then we not getting nothing? No. And then when we say, hold on, well, hey, this is not the way the system's supposed to work. Sound like you jealous to me a little bit. I don't know. Sound like you a hater. So what is that? You sound racist. Honestly, you sound just like the KKK. What do you mean I give it to them and not you? You racist. That's what they'll tell us. We are racist if we're saying the government is supposed to work this way and it's not working this way. And our community is in a drought of resources. And if we call out the drought of resources by the neglect of our government that we pay, that makes us racist and haters. That's what they're telling us. That's what they're trying to tell us right now.
And pit against each other, and going for themselves, and even black people saying, well, we got to worry about us. We've been at the bottom for so long. We've suffered, horribly, and it's now it's time for us to get ours, and take it away from people who are getting something,
No, hey, that's not what we doing. See how they say, yeah, it's time for us to get ours and then take it away from. No, ain't nobody trying to take nothing away from nobody. They're not supposed to be getting stuff. What they're getting belongs to us. These resources belong to us. And this man didn't take it away. No, ain't no.
And even me, just being like the center of attack of a lot of this, oh, you're black, you should be on our side. I'm a revolutionary communist. I'm, standing with the people of the world who are oppressed and exploited horrifically under this system,
Except us. Except us. All of the people, notice this too. I know I'm pausing it a lot. Notice this too. All of the people who be all like, hey, I'm standing with the world. It's always the world against us. We always have to be the stepping stone for another group of people. It can never be, well, we don't want to hurt the Black Americans. We don't want to hurt the FBA community. So we got to find a way to do it. It's always, we should sacrifice. It's always, I'm for the people in spite of you. Despite your suffering, despite all, I'm a man for the people. Clearly, you are not people. The way I see it, because I get to disrespect you and take what you own, and take what, yeah. I'm gonna try to get through because there's still some more stuff. We still got City Hall we got to cover, so I'm gonna get to the other dude. I'm trying not to pause it.
So fighting for a radically different system in the socialist, society, and look, you going out to people with such lower sights, and you're actually trying to break through, and actually, bring these people forward as emancipators of humanity.
Roosevelt, I wonder how you see this. Historically, the divide and conquer that Leo was talking about and how it's playing out today, what you want to add to the conversation?
First of all, thanks again for having us. Look, it pisses me off, to an extent, to a great extent. And I'm looking at the historic content. You see how the Irish immigrant was pitted against the slaves, during slavery. They became indentured servants. Somebody had to be in the top, wanted to be better or feel better than that person, than the black person, and what BA brought out, in that dispatch, made me think about that as well, with another appreciation again on, what BA, has put together. And when he spoke about the migration from the South during World War I, what was that about, And again, that was about blacks trying to find someplace better for themselves. You know, it's uncut. You know, on whenever they moved, you know, throughout the city, throughout these states, especially in Chicago, I was there. You know, doing some of the migration, but during the later migration, where when a black person moved into the neighborhood, the white person would move out. You know, they would be hit with all kind of slurs and, you know, all kind of backlash, you know, and that, you know, is basically the same thing, you know, that the so-called immigrants, these, you know, are facing right now today. You know, I mean,
No, it's not. And I'm trying not to pause it. No, it is not at all. No, it's not. Because we don't have any intrinsic hatred of these people at all. We don't have any disdain, no bigoted thoughts, not like they have to us. They have that to us. We don't have that to them. We don't have that for them. But we're saying you're coming to communities that are already deprived of resources, and the government is making sure that you don't have to face the socioeconomic deprivation that we have been forced to face. You guys get what Dr. Martin Luther King says, an economic floor. You're given an economic floor. That's not the same thing. And this is why we went back and earlier this year, I made these points because I knew that every single time we say something about immigration, to be like, oh, hold on, well, what the Great Migration was kind of the same thing. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
it's a strange irony, you know, that there's a reversal of roles. You know, now we're feeling like, you know, now blacks are feeling like, man, well, we got to be better than them. They're taking up all our resources. This is the same crap that whites was saying to us. You know, no, I mean, every bit of it.
Now we feeling like we got to be better than them. Essentially saying we jealous and we want to be superior. That's what he's saying.
They even formed, as my comrade Leo said it, they even formed special groups. You know, is that what it's going to become to? I mean, is that what it's going to come to? I mean, this is, you know, it's becoming it's a really hot topic, you know, one that needs to be discussed, you know, to be fought over, you know, for us to be fighting over who's going to rule the bottom of that barrel, you know. I mean, that crab in the barrel effect. Who's going to control, you know, the best part of these crumbs, you know, that this oppressive capitalist imperialist system, you know, is dishing out to us. You know, who's going to be, you know, the headmaster of this, of all of this? I mean, it's really insane for a person or for people who have been dealt with so much, you know, to not appreciate when someone else is trying to elevate themselves and pick themselves up, you know, to move in the same line that they have, you know, without the backlash.
How do you see the importance of taking this backwardsness on? Actually, to any of you, taking this backwardsness on, what is being opened up? I mean, are we just out here saying, oh, it's great, we're showing how backwards all this is? Or is there some transformation and some potential that you see in this for revolution, for people to come forward into the ranks of the revolution, lift their sights and transform?
Well,
before we get to Uncle Ruckus over here, almost like Uncle Ruckus. You said you what's going on in the chat room? Something going on in the chat? I don't see anything in the chat room. YouTube might be hating on folks. This dude is sitting up there saying that we hating on them and we want to be better than them. This crabs in a bucket mentality. So we get to be the crabs that get stepped on. We get to be the stepping stool so other people can come and elevate above us. This is the problem that we've been having. When we talk about the movement for delineation, it's not just about the diaspora and us signifying our own unique lineage from them in particular. It's about us identifying and resonating with our own lineage, period, from everybody, because we've always been doing that. Every single immigrant group of people who've come over here, with the exception of the Europeans, has come over here with our assistance. We were the ones who were making it possible for them to come over here. Most of them didn't really start even coming over here until the 60s, until the mid 60s, when we fought for the rights for them to come over here. Because at a certain point in time, prior to that, it was very difficult for any non-white immigrant to come over here. That was the truth. Until we fought for that right, we were saying, no, they should be able to come over here. And I'm not just talking about the black ones, which it was the black ones. I'm talking about the Hispanic ones too. You didn't have a whole bunch of Mexicans that being able to come over here. Puerto Ricans being able to come over here. Like, they weren't able to come over here like that. No. And then when they came over here, they were able to come in our neighborhood. We treated them like family. We were telling them, like, hey, y'all kind of really black. We were telling that to them. Oh, y'all kind of really black. If you really like, y'all know, we kind of like it. We're telling that to them. They set up their businesses, their restaurants, their shops, or whatever. We subsidize them. We subsidize that. We patriotize their businesses. We patriotized their stores. We subsidized their economy in their neighborhood. We did that for them. We protected them. We looked out for them. We've done that to the Asian community. They come over here. They bring their restaurants. They bring their stores. They bring their shops in our neighborhoods, in our communities, and we patriotize that. We protect them from this Stop Asian Hate. Who are the main group of people sitting up there trying to stop black Asian hate? A whole bunch of brainwashed black folk trying to stop this Asian hate. It was a whole bunch of black and yellow. It was a bunch of that. We be the main ones coming over here. When are we going to learn from the insanity that this is not no unifying thing? That us being in servitude to another group of people does not have those people respect us, does not make those people respect us. In fact, does the opposite. In fact, works in reverse. In fact, harms us more than anything. While we talking about why can't we all come together? We have been the only people, and I've said this before, we have been the only people, and we can move on to the next clip. We have been the only people ever talking about that. We have been the only people ever talking about let's all come together. Let's all unite. Let's all work together. Let's all overcome this oppressive system together. Us in another ethnicity of people. You don't have ethnicities working together. You don't. Where, if I'm wrong, which I'm not, but if I'm wrong, where else in the world do you see two completely different ethnicities coming together for a common cause? Where do you see any ethnicity outside of ours even championing that principle? And I'm not talking about one or two people. I'm talking about the whole group of people. Since they're saying we're all oppressed together, let's fight together. No, you see tribalism, colorism, all these other isms in these groups of people that they are hell bent on. They will not change. They are lockstep in. That's what you see with other groups of people. We have literally been the only group of people who've ever had that thought of let's unify together. No, it's time for us to wake up from that insanity that we should be stepped on because you call us being subjugated unity. That's not no real unity. There is no real unity. There is none. Let's be honest about that. There's none. There is none. There is none. That doesn't exist. And we should, at this point in time, we know that does not exist. We sitting up there getting subjugated and oppressed. We're elevating buffer classes. We are elevating our own replacement, talking about this is unity against the system. These people who fled from their government is going to come here and help us revolt against ours. Really? and they're not even asking them that. You coming over here and sitting up there saying with the assumption what? Did you go to them and ask them if they want to revolt? Because they'll tell you no. They'll tell you no. They'll tell you they don't want no problems. They just want to, stay for a little bit, get a free house, get a little job. That's what they want. They will tell you that. Shout out to beloved sister Stephanie. She sends a $20 super chat. Says they're trying to deflect from the actual topic by projecting the hatred they have for us onto us. Exactly. 100% correct. 100% correct. So the community, they had the thing yesterday. The community showed up. Now, I wasn't there. This comes from a channel called the Chicago. Let me see. I think it's called the Chicago Community. I believe it's called. Okay. It's called the Chicago Community, right? So this is that where the community pulled up. This was yesterday. I didn't take this footage. I got there like literally 20 minutes late. Everybody was already outside by this point.
The revolutionary leader Bob Avakian that said,
and remember, hold on. Remember we were talking about Bob Avakian? And remember the word cult got brought up? Where was it? Where was it? I think it was right here. Yeah, the RCP is frequently described as a cult. Described as a cult. Now, keep this in mind as you're listening to this.
The revolutionary leader Bob Avakian that says, black people hating on immigrants, nonsense and worse, from people who should know better.
That's a provocative statement.
More than provocative. No.
It is a provocative statement. It's also true.
It's true.
There's no truth in it.
So, we are here to discuss this dispatch. We are here to have a program, and afterwards we'll open up a discussion where people here will be able to speak, agree or disagree. This title has actually struck and stung a lot of people. And there's a question of why. People feel very...
It's a question, and there's a question of what? Because you're lying.
Passionate about this question. And it's a necessary and important question to get into because it has everything to do with actually emancipating humanity. That's what we're about. So, just to set some ground rules for people here, there's a bathroom in the back. There's snacks and refreshments along the wall here. Just so people know that.
Right. They want it so, y'all want it so
okay. Hey, so another thing is, while people are up here, we'll actually get into this dispatch. We're going to play the whole thing for everyone here.
Now, we don't want to hear Bob. We want to read it.
So, look, just hey, just so I'm clear, while I'm talking, or Raphael is talking, or Carl is talking, look, we're not going to tolerate disruptions, okay? And we're going to be respectful of each other's time here, okay? Because what we're here to do is actually get into this dispatch, actually discuss the content of it, and go beyond just people narrowly looking at the title, okay? This has been controversial in Chicago, and we have been in places like Hyde Park. We've been around here in South Shore, and we've been in other places. Hey, and we've been in other places around this city. Listen, let me finish talking. Okay, this is the stage. I'm the MC for this discussion. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna introduce my comrade right here.
Comrade. Yeah, comrade. Slap them boots on the table.
His name is Rafael Cadaras. He's a revolutionary communist, a correspondent with the RNL. First off, if you all are struck just by a revolutionary communist, most of us are communists in this room, so deal with the reality. He's a correspondent with the RNL Revolution Nothing Less show. He's a follower of the revolutionary leader Bob Avakian, and he's been fighting against U.S. imperialist wars and murder by police and attacks on immigrants since the early 2000s. He is also known.
Notice he's a follower of Bob Avakian. He makes it seem like Bob Avakian is some type of religion.
For verbal sparring and taking on MAGA fascists, Democrats, wokesters, and phony socialists. Last year, he and some of us in this room
Burnt the American flag.
Burnt the American flag. Made international news burning the American flag at the fascist country singer Jason Aldean's concert in Chicago. Well, in Tinley Park.
Sensationalizing our flag for that bullshit ass stuff. That's what they do. They sensationalize our flag.
We really don't want to hear
Thank
your
you, Leo.
resume. We're here for this.
We are here for
don't
this.
wanna hear your
We are
resume.
we are the RevCom Corps for the emancipation of humanity.
Now, after that, it got physical. It got physical, and I stopped it right there because, of course, you guys know that this channel does not condone violence. So I just let the whole thing play. Now, notice something. Bob Avakian didn't show up. This person who's sitting up there talking about black people are hating on immigrants and we should know better. We should know better as black people because of what we've been through. Let's explain what segregation was like. Let's explain what the Great Migration was like. Let's explain what Jim Crow was like. That's what Bob Avakian is doing to us, telling us that we should know better. We should learn. We should know better. We should know. That's what he's telling us. And he has a whole thing after spreading all of these lies and propaganda in our community, these provocative, inflammatory, hateful lies, harmful lies. He's going to do this and then not even show up. Get all of the clout and not even show up. And he's done these before, where he spreads these anti-black propaganda all over. The same way, we know our history, the same exact way the Ku Klux Klan used to do. Do you know the Ku Klux Klan? They would go around and they would put up just random lies about, oh, the black man, he's going to go after your daughter. Oh my God, that's why we got to get him. Black people are so monstrous and hateful and violent and evil. That's what they would say. They would go around and they would post those flyers the same way, the same exact way. They would go around and post those flyers up on buildings, on street poles and things like that. So people could see them. They would start handing them out, spreading them to different people so people could see them. So they could embed a society that has a negative view of black people and blackness in general. That's exactly what these people are doing now. What Bob Avakian and his new communist party, whatever he wants to call it, is nothing more than a liberal Klan rally. That's what it is. That's what they would do at the Klan rallies. At Klan, what would they do at Klan rallies? They would come together. And as a rally, they would reinforce all of these anti-black propaganda, anti-black narratives, anti-black lies. And they would say, because of this, we are justified in what we are doing. I say it, you say it, you say it, you say it. We are justified in what we're doing. That's what the Klan would do. These are liberal Klan rallies that Bob Avakian is hosting. and he's not even showing up to it. He's letting his tether little flunkies and that fat Mexican talk about it. And yeah, I said she's fat, and YouTube gonna be like, that's bullying. There's nothing wrong with being fat. She is. Come on now. So with that, right after that is when I got there. Right after that, you have, once again, a good sister, Miss Jackson, standing on business. I posted this on Twitter or X. People talk about X. Lord. I posted this then, and it's gotten over 100,000 views in a matter of 24 hours.
As you know, the flyer about black people hating on immigrants was distributed in Hyde Park. Because of that, we took the matter to City Hall. They hung this in our community. We want it off the polls. We want that to be the beginning of a hate crime. And we brought it before City Hall for it to be considered a hate crime. What happened as of Thursday is Alderman Ron Mosley. It started the investigation into the matter, and that is 4 different ways that a hate crime can be processed. Of the 4, 3 of that flyer being in this facility for the intent of provocation and an issue of vandalism because they were taped all over the poles of Hyde Park and other areas of the city. That would begin the justification for a hate crime bill. This morning, Doris Lewis made an official police report because the police report is the first step to the hate crime. So effective tomorrow, we will be back in City Hall, and that would be the violent part of a hate crime. We are also working on a non-violent hate crime. That is dealing with the fact that black people's property is being taken at enormous rates in the city, and that even when you take the matter to court, the unjustified and the unruly and the lawlessness of the court system that ultimately violates a litigants, especially if they're in pro se, their constitutional rights of due process and their civil rights of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. So this is where it is in terms of a non-violent hate crime and the flyer being considered a violent hate crime. We will keep you all posted. The next step is to have a meeting with another alderman that's over the police and fire safety so that we can have the one-on-one meeting with the superintendent to get the police reports going, because that's the first step of a hate crime. So that's where it is. And like I said, we'll keep the public abreast. But we didn't want everybody to think that the only thing that we did was make a commotion about it and that we're not dealing with it legally, because that's where things are now, to deal with things legislatively. Second of all, we're pushing for Alderman Desmond Yancey, who is the alderman of this area, to evict the people who are renting or who own this property, because it has been brought to our attention that as early as 2013, the community had already got together to have them removed from here before for other issues. And now they're back again. So this is a pattern. And so therefore, we're ready and prepared to move forward with this with City Hall. Thank you very much.
Okay, now earlier in this broadcast, this is why I said the thing about the nation, because this is what she was referring to. So I made sure that you guys had all of the steps, so that way you guys wouldn't be confused about what she was referring to, because that's what she was referring to. And once again, shout out to Miss Jackson. Shout out to Miss Jackson. Can we get some 100 emojis in the chat room for Miss Jackson? We need a bunch of 100 emojis in the chat room for Miss Jackson, because very articulate, very well said. Now now she was talking about two different things, and we got to break it down. She was talking about a violent hate crime and a non-violent hate crime. The violent hate crime is because what this is right here, this on top of this, and then on top of him and doing all of this and all that stuff. This is anti-black propaganda that is harmful and is negative to a community. This can be considered a violent hate crime, because what this is doing is this is criminalizing a group of people, a specific group of people. Well, this is criminalization of a group of people. You're trying to socially criminalize a group of people, opening them up to being victims of illegal immigration, to be victims of anything. This is how Jim Crow was started. These are considered violent hate crimes. And then you had the incident going on in their, I guess, community center or whatever the case is, on top of the fact that these people have a notorious history of putting out anti-black propaganda and information. This has happened time and time again. The community has tried to get them evicted multiple times because of the anti-black propaganda. This is what it is. Now, remember, for all of the people who thought that might be a reach, remember when it was Asians. Come on, that's why we got to bring it full circle. Remember when it was Asians, they were saying that, no, it's a hate crime. For you to say anything that is what we deem as anti-Asian, that's a hate crime. Remember? Oh, so if it's a hate crime, if you're saying that the pandemic coronavirus came from China, if that's a hate crime, then saying that black people are hating on immigrants, that's a hate crime too. Oh yeah, what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna play this little game where all of these other groups get hate crime, regardless of the truth. Like I said before, regardless of the truth, it can be true, it can be not true, it can be true, it can be false, it doesn't matter. Regardless of that, it's considered a hate crime if you say it about them. Now, when it's us, you got the right to free speech. You know what I'm saying? Is it really a hate crime? I mean, it's a little. It's such a no. We're not playing these games with them anymore. We're not doing that. We're not sitting up there like every little thing you do. If you look at them sideways, if they think that you're looking at them sideways, hate crime right then and there. How dare you do that to them? How dare you? Like Bob was saying, you should know better. You should know better. Talking to you like you're a child. Now, when it comes to us, well, I mean, they do have the right to free speech. I mean, that is their First Amendment right. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to turn the society against us. You're trying to put a bad taste in black people's mouth, in society's mouth, about black people. Also, what you're doing is you're pretty much saying that we shouldn't have the First Amendment right to feel how we want to feel and express what we want to express. We shouldn't have that right. No. So that is. Now, on what she was talking about, the nonviolent hate crime, is when she's talking about the fact that they're seizing black properties at a rate disproportionate to other groups of people. That is disproportionate because the black property that is in Chicago, the black-owned property that's in Chicago, is targeted. Because the government would be seizing everybody's property randomly if it was no target in particular. But because of the fact that the black community in Chicago is particularly targeted, that means that you're doing this based off of race. You're targeting a group of people based off of race. That is considered, you're negatively affecting a group of people. You're putting a group of people in a harmful condition based off their race. That is considered a hate crime. That is a hate crime. You are grouping a bunch of people up based off their race, and you are doing something that is going to negatively impact them. That's a hate crime. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, so we consider that this is the era y'all want to play these hate crime games. Let's do it. I'm all for this. Let's do this. I'm all for it. I'm 100% for this. All the way. All the way. 100%. I think we had another super chat. Let me get to tell it like it is. Sends the super chat. Says Bob Avakian just threw a grenade in a tent and then walked up. He did. And then let his little soldiers carry the bag with him. Let his little soldiers do that. So, back to City Hall. Now, this was earlier today. This was earlier today. Now, I got to find these clips about all over the damn place. Let me pull these clips up from all over the place. I really hated that I had to do that. But this was our sister. Let me, hold on, share it because it's not being shared. Our sister Zoe. Oh, come on now. Hold on, y'all. Come on, man. What you doing? Okay.
Hide that whole thing that happened between 61st and 65th on South King, shot spotter. Also let us know that shots were fired over there. If you guys are trying to say that nothing happened over there and it was fake news, but it's not. See, the issue is that drug trafficking is $1 trillion business for the U.S. government. Because, you guys have arrested all of our drug dealers. So now that you have the Venezuelans over here, and because Rosa Rodriguez Sanchez and Carlos Rosa Ramirez had cornered Lori Lightfoot in a corner and made her sign this executive order that the police cannot work with ICE to deport these people, that when there's a lot of drug trafficking over there. But the issue is our kids, our young black boys are involved in that because they hungry. There ain't no money out here. So when they get arrested, our boys are going to take the fall for it, not the Venezuelans, because it's an executive order. So they'll get arrested, but then they'll get back out, keep getting out. Then there's a whole bunch of fentanyl over here, so they're just killing people. So our kids are going to get those murder charges, not the Venezuelans, because you don't even know who they are. But guess what? It's on 61st and 6500 South King. So y'all don't care. You don't care, Brian Hopkins, that it's not your war. You sit here and say that we have to be quiet and maintain and all that stuff. When you had a whole shelter that you let, because you probably got money, put in the Streeterville, 600 North Lake.
Let me pause it for 1 second, just so she can understand. Okay. Now, yeah, it's, apparently a lot of people in the chat room are saying that. And I can tell because on StreamYard, I can see certain comments, and on YouTube, I can see certain comments. So I know which comments is coming up and which comment YouTube is just automatically blocking. So, yeah, the games is being played. They playing little games. But what she was talking about the shot spotter, because this was really, the meeting was about shot spotters, because what the city wants to do is they want to take away the shot spotters that's in Chicago that really detect anytime a gunshot goes off. That's in, the black community. So what she's saying is that these things help people because these things are able to allow police and ambulance to get to people faster who need help. And the faster you get to somebody who gets shot, the higher it is that you're going to be able to save them. And statistics bear that out too. But the government wants to cut that down because, first off, they're saying, well, it's costing too much money. And what the government is doing is now they're penny pinching so they can subsidize the illegals. So what she was saying earlier, as far as them coming over here and and doing the thing with our rights, the boys getting locked up, is because there are Venezuelan gangs who are coming over here. They got the plug for drugs and stuff like that. They're running, unfortunately, alongside some of these other gangs or people who are selling drugs. Now, when the police lock people up, when they have their charges and they storm houses and they lock folk up and they lock the black people up, the black people are staying in jail. The Venezuelans, they're not staying in jail. They can all of them are selling drugs or whatever. And then when the black kids get locked up, the black kids got to stay in jail. When the Venezuelans, when they get locked up, they get to get out. That's what she's talking about. Going back to it. Oh, come on, don't do that. Okay, come on. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second.
That's what my family said. We have to see that all the time. My mother had to see that all the time. And you said that you were going to get that shelter out, but you did not. You know, so don't sit here and talk about how we have to be quiet and you guys not to manipulate the First Amendment and all that stuff. When you let that shelter be right there in Ohio, while all these people were dealing with it, you had prostitution and all that stuff in your ward. You had that all quiet too. So I don't know what y'all think this is, but like my man said, y'all getting out. This is a new generation. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. The Democratic Party is done because all you guys have done was played us for forever. You played our grandparents. You played our aunts. I'm 38 years old. Ain't nobody playing with y'all no more. Y'all not going to do this no more, and that's just what it is. Y'all are terrible. Y'all are terrible. The black representation that we have in Illinois did not do anything for us. It's sad. It's embarrassing. And the whites don't either. Just 6 days ago, you guys trying to like.
Now I want to get to let me see if I can find it real quick. I want to get to Mr. Y'all know we got to represent when y'all know Mr. Blakemore. Mr. Blakemore came back.
John Davis. You know when I put that discrimination suit on you several years ago, where you tried to set me up and say, Christina, I hit somebody. I know you. And now you're over in Streeterville. And like the young lady spoke before, it's terrible. The white folks just been terrorized by these illegal immigrants there on Ohio and Ontario and that big hotel. And you have a audacity to go and tell the sergeant of arms, if Mr. Blakemore use any kind of language to stand up, I'm gonna tell the sergeant of arms to put me out. Who do you think you are? Or who do you think I am? Don't go there. Don't go there. I know you. I have a history. You're just another recycle from the county. And you was the chief of staff of John Davis. And you didn't do nothing there, and you're not doing nothing here. You voted for those illegal immigrants over $1 billion, and some of our black elected officials also voted for that. That's not in the interest of black people. Well, somebody, you said you were going to close up that hotel, but they still there. You know why? Because you're getting paid. You're getting paid. This is pay to play down here. It's about the money. It's paid to play down here. And you have that gas. Say, if Mr. Blakemore say anything disruptive, I'm going to tell the sergeant of all. Tell your mama. You heard me. Now drag me out. Tell your mama there was a crime against humanity when black people was enslaved over here. You didn't give us any money, and we're not advocating for reparation, which you should do. $1 billion was spent on the illegal. And the sad thing about it, they had black faces in high places also voting for sanctuary when your black aid needs it yourself. Now you're giving away free homes to them. And it's time to turn this city red. It's time to turn it red. What's wrong with you black people? I got to run over here, Jeanette got a game being played over there. And then over here, you have these meetings at the same time, on the same date. You know what you can kiss? Use your imagination. But I'm going to give you a little something more to show them imagination. Man, that's what. So, jail charges are on. He's not gonna drag me out. He's not dragging me out. I'm not dragging me out. I'm not dragging me out. Drag me out there. Drag me out there. Drag me out.
Now, then they tried to say, "Oh, what he did was so disrespectful. Oh, you can't do that." They told him that at first they were telling him he can't leave. He has to leave for the whole rest of the session, and he can't come back in the next session, or he has to be able to come back in the next session. He was all like, "No, I didn't technically say anything provocative." Now they was all like, "Well, you told us to kiss your ass." Possibly you could perceive it that way. I personally perceive it differently. I mean, Mr. Blakemore is clearly a very animated person, and he didn't do anything violent towards anybody. He didn't say anything violent towards anybody. He didn't say any type of profanity or anything like that. And now you didn't say anything about gestures, and I think that that's a violation of his right to free speech. Which, mind you, he literally said at the very tail end of his speech. And then they was all like, "Oh no, you got to go and you can't come back because Mr. Blakemore has been around for many, many years, and Mr. Blakemore knows all of the background history of all of these politicians sitting up there in office." So when he was telling them that about them in Cook County and everything like that, they start biting their fingernails like, "Oh, damn, he knows." So they like to cherry pick every little thing like, "Oh, how could you tell us to kiss your ass? I can't believe you gotta go to jail now." They be exaggerating all the little gestures and things like that he does. So I let it be known like this. I'm all like, because there was another brother and I didn't have his thing loaded up. I let it be known like this. Hey, so y'all know right now, as far as the immigration crisis goes, really Chicago is the tip of the spear as far as that is concerned right now. You understand that? Now, I didn't let them know I got this platform. I'm all like, I posted a video up yesterday. It's going viral right now. The multiple video, and pretty much anytime a video about Chicago and immigration gets posted, it goes viral right now. So you want to do this, it's going to go viral. And the people, like they were before, are going to be on his side. So you can play this game and kick him out or whatever the case is. The people are going to back him up and be on his side, and that's going to be more public scrutiny against you in the city government. That's what's going to happen. And lo and behold, they let him back in. Yeah, because they don't want to be exposed. They let him back in. Even I spoke, and I want to get to that. I had some things I had to say. This was also on Twitter. Zoe posted this. Shout out to Zoe. Okay, come on, hold on. Get it up there. The angle, right?
We need more votes.
She was sitting right in front of me. That's why the angle is looking like this. I kind of started a couple seconds before she hit the record button, too. Let me make sure I got everything. Oh, take this all the way back. Okay, hold on. Yeah, make sure it's taken all the way back.
Neglecting us and giving to them. People that they don't.
Oh, come on. See, this is what I was talking about earlier.
Know who they are. I asked them, is there any type of vetting process for them to come over here from Texas to Chicago? They told me into stores, vandalize into stores.
Okay. See, okay. See, come on now. Let me close some of these tabs real quick. Try to see if that's going to help everything work a little bit faster. Okay, hold on.
My age, These are not old men and old ladies
Okay,
neglecting us.
right here. Here we go.
Neglecting us and giving to them people that they don't know who they are. I asked them, is there any type of vetting process for them to come over here from Texas to Chicago? They told me no. When I said this to Alderman Vasquez, he lied to my face, and he told me that they are being vetted. When I asked them, they said they're not being vetted. They said no names have been taken. They just got put on a bus and shipped over here. That's why there's gangs over here now. This is why there's gangs roaming the streets. I asked them, is there any type of regulation? Is there any type of police oversight or curfew? They told me no. This is why they're able to do whatever they want to do, break into stores, vandalize, break into cars, run people over with cars that they steal from people, children. These people come from countries that traffic in drugs and children that our government is subsidizing, while they're telling us that we need to be sympathetic to them. They're putting them in our community, the Black communities. We have to take the blunt of all of this illegal immigration. And we're getting told that we're the bad guys if we have any complaint for it. For years, the government has said that they were going to do something to the South Side and the West Side. And every single time they say, well, you know, it's not in the budget right now. We need more votes. It's a process. It's this, it's that. Yet illegal immigrants come over and millions of dollars out of apparently nowhere gets to go to them. Criminal or non-criminal, it doesn't matter. They still get to go to them. Adults my age. These are not old men and old ladies with little babies. Not most of them, no. These are adults my age that our government neglects the citizens of, the veterans sleeping on the streets, and they're giving to them. These people are preying on the elderly in our community. We've seen that time and time again. All of that's been documented. They're preying on the children, not just in Chicago, in New York, in Colorado. The government has neglected us, and we have the list of everybody who has approved of it, everybody who has voted for it, everybody who lies to our face. We're tracking everything, and your seats is up.
Yep. That's the end of that. Oh yeah, I finished the last thing letting them know, because what they like to do, and I'm like, we got the receipts. Oh, we got the receipts. We're very well researched people. Shout out to I missed this earlier. Shout out to Antithesis for the Cash App. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, we got the receipts. Yeah, we not playing these games with them. No, because what they'll do is they'll sit in our faces and they'll tell us one thing. When we got the camera in front of them, they'll tell us one thing, and then you can look, because legally they have to show. When you look and you see how they voted on a particular bill, because it does show that. It does have to show that how they voted on a particular bill. If they vote on a bill that's all for it, and then they'd be all like, man, this is really bad, man. No, because you voted for it. So don't come to us, all this two-faced attitude. Don't come to us, and you got all these criminals sitting up there roaming the streets, and you sitting up there acting as if you with the community and lockstep with the community, but you're voting the way the oppressor class wants you to vote. So I was sending them out to them. I'm like, hey man, all the talking is over. We know who voted what. We know what side y'all on. And I had to represent not just for Chicago, but I also brought up New York and California, then New York and Colorado. Like, yeah, we know what side you on. We know what side you on. We know what game you playing. We know what game you playing. We know what team you playing for. So next election, because what they like to try to do is they like to try to do a whole bunch of nonsense. And I'm trying to keep my profanity at a minimum. They try to do a whole bunch of nonsense. And then right before it's re-election, they'll like fund some type of community fundraiser or something like that, or some big back to school drive or something like that, and some turkey giveaway for Thanksgiving or something like that. They try to do that stuff so that can be in recent memory. So then when it's time to vote for people, be like, hey, I really did help your Thanksgiving out. You know what I'm saying? Didn't you like those turkeys? Didn't you like, I gave your son, your daughter a free book bag with color pencils and everything like that. That was nice, wasn't it? Come on now. No, not that's what I'm saying. No, no. We got the receipts. This is why we keep a track of what we're doing. Because later on down the line, if we don't keep track of this stuff, then they'll be able to be like, well, really? Honestly, I was never in support of that. No, I was never in support of that. I was always on your side. I was trying to tell them. I was trying to tell them. I was in the back room going off. I was trying to tell them. I was like, you can't do this to the people. They were getting so mad at me. I was, man, you should see me. I was right there. I was with you. I've been with you the whole time. But we can do this together. If I get voted out, I can't do anything. You got to vote for me because me and you, we like this. We like this, man. Come on. I do have your back, and I will fight for you again. That's what they'll tell us. They will sit here and lie to us and tell us that. No, oh no. You're not gonna be able to do that because what we gonna do? Y'all know what this is. Y'all know what this is. Come on now. Y'all know what this is. We're gonna be like, oh, that's very interesting because in March the 17th, we see here that your name is written as approved for this bill that gave these illegals $5 million for this one particular month. Okay. So that was one. That was in March. Then we go down, page number 2, section 3. And we see that in April, very next month after March, on the 2nd, not even a whole month away, you gave them free, link cards and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, we doing this. And this is not just Chicago. This ain't just Chicago either. This is Chicago. This is New York. This is Colorado. This is Iowa. This is Atlanta. This is everywhere they are. North Carolina, South Carolina, Los Angeles, and everywhere in between. Texas, everywhere in between. I need the family in New York to be all like, oh, well, you know what, Adams, all right? Ain't that your name, right? What was up with those free debit cards that you was giving? What you was just giving them preloaded debit cards? Yeah, what was up with that? Why are you trying to tell us that it wasn't you, it was Biden? What was it? Explain that, because Biden didn't do that. You did that. Explain that to me. So when they try to come in for re-election, and we got to show them, yeah, I know you want to come back for re-election, but what about them houses? Remember the Venezuelans that got the four-bedroom house? They've been here for 2 years, and they got a 4-bedroom house. Yeah, what was up with that? Oh, yeah, we keeping the receipts on all of them. We writing everything down. So when it's time for re-election, it's up for all of them. That goes in Chicago. That goes California with the reparations thing that they tried to pull last week. That goes New York. That goes Colorado. Everywhere. Everywhere is red pin energy. Everywhere you go. You can't escape this. You can't escape that. We knowing what's going on. Now, I want to also show, let me get to it. Of course, we got Ms. Jackson back on the scene, back handling business. Let me show this. Oh, okay, hold on. Where is it? Come on. Oh, it's muted. Okay. Oh, come on. See what they.
It's amazing to hear you read off the rules. That's amazing. I want to know how many rules were broken to stack people that are illegal in warehouses, schools, park field houses, police stations. Where were the rules for that? How many rules were broken in order for the city to end up with $1 billion deficit in order to take care of a bunch of illegals? How many rules are broken when we're in here public speaking and they sitting there chatting? They're sitting there chatting, but won't nobody tell them to be quiet. How many rules? But y'all want all the attention when you talk. You want to make sure we don't say things that are offensive. While we sit here and listen to you all do offensive stuff all day, putting bogus statistics up on there, black this, black that, black this, black that, that's not offensive. When you don't put no white stats up there, white people don't break no laws, white people don't commit no crimes. I want to see some mass shooting statistics up there. I want to see some opioid overdoses up there. I want to see some rape charges since 1619 up there. I want to see separation of families. How many families, black families, got separated up there? How many white gangs like Al Capone and them that actually started gangs in Chicago? I want to see them stats up there. So I dare you tell us that when we talk about what's going on in our community and our lives, with our families, that if it makes you uncomfortable, that it's racist, it's xenophobic. No, it's us talking about us to the people who's doing it to us. And we got every right to do so. And if we don't have that right, then we're going to need you to stop taking our property taxes. We're going to need you to stop taxing us about anything. If we can't say nothing about the treatment that we're getting over here, just stop taking our money. You don't get to correct us. Correct yourself. And then it will correct everything. But as long as you all think that you can keep on doing wrong and applying rules to one set of people, this is going to keep on coming. It's going to keep coming. Yeah, look at the clock. Yeah.
They started speaking before her time was up. If you notice that. Let me see if I can show it just a little bit. Before they started, she said, look at the clock. She still had a little bit of time left.
Then it will correct everything. But as long as you all think that you can keep on doing wrong and applying rules to one set of people, this is going to keep on coming. It's going to keep coming. Yeah, look at the clock.
Yeah, okay. And see, that's the thing. What they'll do, they'll be so concerned, and I'm glad she called this out. They'll be so concerned about black on black crime, black on black crime in the black community. How do we reduce crime in the black community? Y'all don't ever even address crime in any other community at all, period. As if they don't do any crime whatsoever. None, nothing whatsoever. As if these people don't do that stuff. They break the rules, they break the laws, their own laws that they work to put in place. They work to create the bills to put in place, and then they break them, they violate them. These people now, because there's so many of them coming over here, these people are sleeping in warehouses. It went from hotels to now the hotels are booked. Now we got to put them in shelters. Now the shelters are booked. Now we got to put them in police stations. Now we got to put them in the airport. Now they are putting them in warehouses. They're putting them in warehouses now. While they telling us, hey, sir, you got to have decorum. Mr. Blakemore, if you do that again, you have to have decorum, while they're snickering and laughing while we're talking to them. Let me tell you something. They don't have to listen. They don't have to really pay attention like they don't have to. They're gonna feel what we saying. What we say is it doesn't matter if they want to change their mind or not. That no. Let's let it be very clear. Them wanting to change their mind is inconsequential to what is going to happen at the end of the day. At the end of the day, this is about to stop. At the end of the day, we're not going to sit here and be quiet and acquiesce and be the stepping stools for our replacement, be the stepping stools to buffer classes, to anti-black buffer classes to come over here and wrongfully get our resources that we are rightfully owed. And we have to be quiet, or else we're haters, or else we're racist, or else we're xenophobic. Yeah. No. We're not going to. No. That's not going to be how we doing this. Oh no. That's not how we no. That's not how this is going to go no more. No, it is not. Oh no. What's going to happen? What's going to happen is we gonna let you know. We went out there to just let it be known out to the public. That's our main thing, is to show the consistency of, oh no, the public doesn't want to just say something and get it off their chest. Oh no, we're very serious about this. We're already talking to aldermen. We're already setting up the police report. Oh, the paperwork process is already underway. We already getting the train. The train is moving. You guys know anything about trains? When the train starts moving, the train can't hit the brakes like a car can hit a brake. The train can't hit a brake and then just stop. Oh no, the train has to stop way ahead of its destination, because this train has so much weight and so much power and momentum. It can't, even if you slam on the emergency brakes, the train has so much momentum and so much power behind it. It can't just immediately stop. That's why if something is on a train track, they hit the horn to say, hey, you got to get up. You have to get up, because this train can't stop. It can't stop. The train driver hits the horn to let people know, like, hey, y'all got to get out the way or you will be hit, because this train can't stop moving. That's how powerful this train is. I can't make this train stop moving. If you don't get out the way, you're just going to get hit. That's how powerful trains and locomotives are. That's what we are doing. That's what we go to the Chicago City Hall, to the Chicago government, to these meetings. That's what we go in there to express. Oh no, the train is in motion now. So y'all could have settled this before, when we was first having this issue, but y'all said that y'all was just gonna let them do whatever y'all wanted to do. And we expressed that, hey, that's not right, that's not legal, that's not ethical, that's not right, that's not fair, that's not moral. Importantly, it's not moral. They said, hey, well, what you gonna do about it? And then we said, okay, well, you know what? We gonna set this. What we did is it took us a minute to really start to get here. It took us a minute to really start to get it. Can we get some trains? Tell it like it is. You got the good idea. Can we get some train emojis in the chat room? Is that going to be our new thing? Are trains going to be our new thing? I think trains might be one of our new things, just like the red pen. Trains and locomotives, that might be our new thing, y'all. Can we get some train emojis in the chat room? We letting them know, okay. We're not the black people before that would sit up there and be like, why are you guys not listening to us? And why are you guys doing this to us? And why? We're like, no, oh no. We not like that no more. No. Hey, we saying, hey, this is a problem. This is the last time I'm going to tell you. When I leave, if it's not fixed, I'ma fix it. You can fix it. I'm letting you know it's a problem now, so you can fix it. If it's not done, I'm gonna have to do it. Now, if I have to do it, you not going to like the way I do it. So I'm giving you the chance to do right. If you don't do right, don't blame me for how I handle it. That's what we've been telling them. They said they ain't going to do right. We said, okay. So now what we're going to City Hall and what we're going to do, we're not going there to sit up there and tell them how we feel. Notice that's not really the messages that we've been putting out. Notice in those messages, we're not putting that out. We're not sitting up there like, why are you guys not listening to us? And we don't have a voice and we're not heard and our feelings are hurt. We're not doing none of that. We're going there essentially giving announcements. We're going there essentially telling them like, oh, we just letting you, this is a courtesy that we're letting you know this is the step going forward. This is the path going forward. Oh, the train is already in motion now. This is the track, and the train is already it's in motion. We can't stop it at this point. You said that you didn't want to do anything when we gave you the chance to do it. You said you didn't want to do it. So now the train is now in motion. So now this is just what's going to happen. And anybody in the way of this train is just going to get ran through. That's just what it is. That's how trains work. That's why they have those things, those rails that come down to stop the cars. They have to stop the cars because they know they can stop a car. They can't stop the train. They have to let you know, hey, this train is coming and it won't stop. Your car needs to stop because the train won't. Now the train is in motion. You guys had your opportunity. That's what we're out there. That's what I was out there saying. I'm all like, hey, we got a list of all you. We know who voted yes. We know who voted no. We know who voted. Don't be trying to come to no Thanksgiving turkeys ain't gonna fix nothing. No backpack giveaways ain't gonna fix nothing. No. Don't be trying to come with no damn Girl Scout cookies. No. Oh, no. No. Don't be trying to do no last minute barbecues. That ain't gonna work. No. Don't be trying to do that. No. Coming to the community center playing basketball. That ain't gonna work. I'm giving an announcement. I didn't go there to complain to anybody. I'm giving an announcement. I'm letting you know, hey, we got the receipts on you, Vasquez. You lie. That's why I said his name. I said Vasquez, and Vasquez lied to my face, and he was there. He was sitting right there. Yeah, and Vasquez, all of that's on camera. We got the receipts on you, on her, on him, on her, on him, and him. We got the receipts on everybody. All y'all getting out of here. Everything we post go viral. I don't know who you think gonna vote y'all back in. Because money is not gonna get y'all the votes. Everything we post go viral. The public narrative is in our hands now. What we say goes now. The train is in motion now. So when we say, okay, y'all, we can't make y'all leave now. Okay, that's cool. We can wait you out. And as we waiting you out, the smoke is gonna build and build and build. You gonna be glad to get up out that seat by the time we done. Oh, they gonna be glad. They might not even care to run again, to be very honest with you. They might be all like, you know what? I guess politics is not really my thing. At the end of the day, they're going to be glad to get out that seat. They're going to get smoked out, politically speaking. Politically speaking, they will get smoked out of their seat. And we're going to replace them with our people from the grassroots, people whose allegiance is to the community first, to the people first, not to their taskmasters, not to their pocketbooks, not to their political careers and aspirations, to the community first. That's who's coming to replace you. And we're going to wait you out. But at this point, the train is in motion. There's nothing that can be done now. It's just sealed. It's already set in stone. I'm sorry, sir. We already the receipts piled up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's what it is. We got the receipts on you. We just calling it out. We letting them know why they're getting up out of there, so they can't be all like, "What? Oh no, we told you. We told you why we were getting you out of here. We told you why we getting you out of here. We letting you know you getting out, and we telling you why we getting you out. That's what it is. That's like a cop. A cop's not trying to tell you that he should arrest you. Cop is just telling you why he's arresting you. You know what I'm saying? You know, a judge is not going to tell you, like, try to tell you that he might sentence you. He's just going to tell you why he's sentencing you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to tell you. I'm just telling you why you're being punished. That's what I'm doing. Not the things that could lead to your punishment, the things that have led with an ED to your punishment. Politically speaking, of course, because we do not condone any violence. Brothers and sisters, it's going down in Chicago, and there's still a lot more to go. It's still a lot more to go. It's a lot of work left. There was many clips that StreamYard wasn't even letting me play, or whatever the case is. Bob Avakian, the racist cult leader, he's done. He's washed. Nobody cares about his organization. As a matter of fact, his thing, Bob's thing, Bob is about to get a hate crime. He's about to have that whole thing shut down. He's about to be glad he leaves out of there. Because when you was doing this in 2013, we didn't have the voice and the power we have now. You doing this in 2024, oh, it's a different game. Oh, it's a different. That's like you playing against high school football versus the pros. Oh, it's a different game now. You was messing around in 2013. Oh, it's a very different game, Bob. Very different game. You and your little tether communist party. Oh, it's different now. Y'all gonna be running out of there like the tethers you are, like the fleers you are. You're gonna be running out of there. Y'all not running anything. A revolution, y'all need to go to Mexico and talk about a revolution, not America. Your revolution, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, it's over with, Bob. It's done. Because what you've done is you committed a hate crime. Now, not only have you done that, because we were involved, because I got this platform with all of you all listening, thousands of you all from around the nation who see this. Now this is nation news now. Now this news is not just local news. This news has gone around the entire nation. It's on Twitter. It's got 100,000 views. It's gone around the entire nation, if not outside of the nation now. And Bob's name is tied to it. Oh yeah. Oh, your revolution. Oh, that's done. I told you, this train, when the train gets to move and the train don't stop moving, you shouldn't have started the train. You shouldn't have started the train, because when the train gets to moving, it don't stop for nobody. Bob is going to be the first political victim of this train. And then next is going to be the aldermans and the city councils and the mayor. And it's going to be everybody who gets in the way of the train of justice. That's what it is. The train of justice, brothers and sisters. Shout out to, we got some tell it like it is. Tell it like it is. I cooked. Oh yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, I had a lot to say. Building up all day. I'm on like, man, I'm gonna go off tonight. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And then our sister Black Spider sends a super sticker, $20 super sticker. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you dearly. Brothers and sisters, their time is coming. The train is already in motion. I need y'all to put a bunch of train emojis in the comment section too, because that's really gonna help this train get more powerful. It's really gonna help the channel blow up. It really is. And the message starts to spread more. It really is. So that way, even if you're not in Chicago, you're aiding to the momentum that we're having here. Now, you all should be following me, because I'm be posting this stuff. Is blowing up on my various social media pages. That's Afro Elite on Instagram, and then the Afro Elite on Twitter. And the links to both of those are in the description below. Also, please, if you guys would, do me a favor and hit that like button on your way out, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. This way you don't miss out on anything. Make sure you guys leave a comment letting me know what you guys think about the hate crimes, letting me know what you think about the city hall, letting me know what's going on in your area. Is something like this going on in your area? Because what I really want this to do is to set the precedent for the entire nation. I don't want this to just be a Chicago thing. I don't want this to just be an Illinois thing. I want this to be the precedent for everywhere. I want us to start charging folks with hate crimes everywhere, the same way they was doing with other groups of people. That needs to be the same thing we're doing everywhere, nationwide. And I'm very hopeful that this will set the precedent that we need to be set so that can happen. Now, with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, be one salute to every single last one of you all. And of course, you all have a good one.